you and me. Throw our enemies through knowledge. Commonwealth, common people, commonwealth, for common people, commonwealth, for common people, commonwealth, for common people. Darker mountains rose in the distance when we were expecting white and pearly gates. With Mike, we tell our stories, share our trades, and housing, and stocks, and all
You're
the
talking
things
about
that we all make.
all men.
Through his show we crescendo symphonies instead of war and wave. Common people, commonwealth, common people, commonwealth, common people, commonwealth.
Bid you all good morning, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be watching this transmission. Welcome to Commonwealth for Common Folks, Commonwealth for Common People. It is I, Mike Martins, music by Ralphie.co.zo. I want to welcome everybody out there from across the Commonwealth who are tuning in tonight, and a lot of
The
people
city
have
says
been
they're monitoring that encampment in
tuning
Capitol
into
Hill
our
and are
show.
aware of
Sorry guys, we
several
got
others,
some
this one in the Soto
channel in the
neighborhood,
background
but
here
residents
wanting to
there
take over
fear
my audio,
something needs to be done and say
and
it's
I
not
hope it
happening
doesn't
fast enough.
shut me down. So who is it
In the
here?
corner of 21st Avenue.
Yeah, here we go. There we go. I don't know why it does that, but they're pushing advertising, and usually it ends up flagging the video as stealing or whatever. All right. John Wayne says, for common folks with common sense, we got Mitch Madden in the house. We got Nathan in the house. We got Linny Poo in the house. We got everyone's Nitten's in the house. Thank you, Nitten, for coming, man. And thanks everyone for joining us. Good times tonight. We got our soundboard on here just to kind of, bring it down a couple of notches. You know what I'm saying? It gets too serious sometime on the show. So sometimes we need to have a little bit of humor on here.
You're talking about all men.
Oh, yeah, that's what you're talking about. All man. All right, guys, let's do a quick channel disclaimer, guys. We do not offer investment advice. We don't know anything, and we cannot even read. Due to the poor quality of this video, it should never be viewed by anyone ever. So there's our description there, disclaimer, so that people know. Toronto Real Estate Show is in the house. I think I'm going to be going on that show next Sunday morning. Sunday morning, 7 a.m. I'll probably I don't know. I'll probably be laying in bed doing it because I'm going to do Mike in the night before, so I'm going to be kind of tired. But I'll still be on the Toronto Real Estate Show, guys. Discussing what's happening, I don't know, maybe they got questions for me, I don't know, I've never been on anyone's, have I been? No, I've never been on anyone's channel before. My knowledge is extremely limited when it comes to about anything, so, it's good that people are asking me to come on and make an appearance. It's really good. Okay, so, oh wow, comments are going, So yeah, Toronto Real Estate Show, for real, you should call in. Yeah, Toronto Real Estate Show, add me on Skype, Mike Martins 1980. I think he uses StreamYard or something like that. No biggie, no biggie. Okay, guys, let's go into a quick channel plug. Then we're going to move over into current events on what's happening. There's a lot happening right now, guys. I don't even know, should I be in this, let's rip everything apart mood? Should we bash the arm? Should we swear in Italian or Spanish or Portuguese? What should we do? I don't know. And that's why I got a little bit of
The man.
little bit of humor on the side here because it gets too serious sometimes. All right, guys, let's go over to channel plug here. Guys, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, please, to set your reminders for Mike in the Night this Saturday. It's called The Reality. Don't forget to set your reminders this Saturday for Mike in the Night. Also, guys, don't forget to pick up something on Teespring. Mike in the Night mug. Somebody bought one today, and somebody bought a t-shirt today and a couple of towels. Thank you so much for picking that up. Also, guys, don't forget, don't even bother, I don't even post anymore on my Facebook. I don't know why. Like, every time I post on my Facebook, no one sees that I posted anything. And with 114,000 followers, like 2 people saw this. So it's like not even worth it. Guys, if you want to message me, show tips, I need you guys. I'm going to give you guys a link right now. Please send it to me on my Skype, please. Come on, send it, not my Skype, my Instagram. Okay? Go on Instagram and send me. Facebook has been blocking messages saying you're not approved to watch this video. You're not approved. This article was taken down, or this link was taken down. Guys, artbydano.com. Check them out. Artbydano.com, not your usual art. And I want to send another shout out again to Peter Leeds. Peter Leeds. Don't forget to check him out. I'll put a link in the comments. Peter Leeds, who sent us this beautiful book that I'm going to finish reading this weekend. I got really, really busy, but he's got a lot of cool stuff on his channel. The king of the penny stock, the king of creating balance in your life, Peter Leeds. So there's his book right here. He sent us a couple of copies, so we'll be giving away a couple of copies on an episode of Mike in the Night. It's autographed, and we got quite a few of them to give away. And trust me, knowledge like this is very hard to come by. Good knowledge is hard to come by, and that book's really good. Okay, here we go. Rock and roll. What is happening in the markets? What is happening around the world? Man, I don't even know how to address these. Like, I don't even know, like, how... Well, you know what it is. Okay, you got journalists that are kind of, like, fed what to say. So they're already following an agenda. They're following a specific order of events, following a specific criteria. We're here. We don't do that. We kind of... Well, I have a little bit of stuff that I want to share with you guys. And then you got people calling in to share what is happening. I spoke to buddy in Arizona, Morgan. Captain Morgan called me from Arizona today saying that people are being dropped off along the sides of the highways coming up from the Mexican side. So he said he's going to take the time to get down to the Mexican-Arizona border to do some videos for us, hopefully for Mike in the Night if he gets some time to get to the U.S.-Mexican border and see what's going on. We got Owen in the house. Craig Cook in the house. We got Michael O2 in the house. Forey Lee in the house. Yes. Okay, so let's go. Let's kick it off. Here it is, guys. Canadians spend 65% more income servicing debt than Americans, highest in G7. Do you know what this means? Do you know what this means? I understand that a lot of people understand speak English, but do they understand English? Because this is a big deal, and I don't see a damn person protesting on the street about this because. I don't know why they're not protesting this, because this is a major deal. So 65% more income servicing debt than Americans in G7 nations. Do you know what that means? It means when we find a correction or when things do crash in Canada or they find a way to come back to the norm, guess what? It's going to be a lot bigger than you could ever imagine. And no virus and no whatever you want to talk about is not going to stop this. It's not going to stop this from happening. Look at this. Look at how much people spend
the city
on
says
servicing.
they're monitoring.
Hold on, we got some audio here in the background going on. People trying to shove things down my throat. Sell me stuff. Here it is. Look at how much people pay in Canada to service their debt, and people make a lot less money in Canada than they do in the U.S. because a lot of states are work-free states, and a lot of them don't pay tax off their wages. So people in the States, they get taxed less than we do. We get taxed an absorbent amount. So do you know how much money you need to make in Canada just to service your debt and pay all the... And you make more money, you get in a deeper tax bracket. So the more you make, the more they take. Hold on a sec. Right there. So... basically, it's yeah. We got Stephen Williams in the channel. We got Owen's telling me he sent me something on Skype. All right, what is it? Someone in Toronto just sold a digital. Okay, I'll take a look at that in a second. Let's open it right now. What is Owen sending us on Skype? before we move on here. Someone in Toronto just sold a digital house for more than 600 large. Toronto-based artists. Okay, what? Why? First and foremost, the house isn't on the market. An internet art collector just purchased the property as a non-fungible token for roughly $616,000 Canadian. Secondly, it doesn't physically exist. What? What? The owner must indeed like Mars House very much to have purchased it for 288 Ether, a cryptocurrency that, as of March 23rd, is worth about 2,138 Canadian dollars per unit. What is this? Well, I don't want to get flagged. It looks like this is a YouTube link here. Let me take off the volume. So what is this? It's a digital house? So what, he just bought this thing? What is it? Is it on a microchip or something? So I have no idea what this is, but Buddy, I think Buddy, it's even on Instagram. Buddy got ripped off, if you ask me. I wouldn't pay more than $5 for that. I don't even know what that is. Sold a digital house for more than $600,000. Wow. You could have bought a nice mini mansion, like a mini mansion with a pool in Miami Beach for that much money. I have no idea who would, like, I don't know. Maybe somebody, I guess, is doing it to impress some girl or something. I can't see this. I can't see anybody buying something like that. It makes absolutely no sense. So let's go back to what's happening here in the United States and Canada. So Canadian household debt ratio, that's how much money Americans pay to service their debt. And that's how much money Canadians pay to service their debt. So back in 2007, right here, everybody had the huge melt up into 2008. That's when the banks were buying mortgage-backed securities, all kinds of Mickey Mouse and currency swaps, and buying bad debt, all kinds of Mickey Mousing. Canada did not see a correction. The United States saw a correction. Canada, Australia, New Zealand, United Kingdom did not see a correction. Everything stayed the course. And then in 2012 was when they thought in Canada the housing in 2010 is when they thought after the Olympics that in Vancouver housing was going to crash. It didn't. And look at it. This is not housing prices. This is just servicing debt. People's debt servicing has been getting out of control. Look at that. What a difference. Look at that melt up there. And people are still servicing those high debts where Americans got a break on real estate and a lot of people bought in after the market crash and got in at the right time. Yeah, Kia saying he must be on crack, the buyer, for sure. So there it is right there. Canadians use 65% more income to carry on debt than Americans. So there it is. Canada's in first place, followed by the United Kingdom, then the United States of America, then Japan, France, Germany, and Italy at the bottom here. So Italy services a lot less for its debt, which is a good thing. Canadian housing spend more on income servicing debt than other G7 countries. So how much more Canadian households spend on debt servicing households in their G7 economies? So there it is right there. Italy's first, then Germany, France, United States, Japan, and the UK. Yeah, if Canada was here, it wouldn't even make this list. Yeah. And then, so there it is. Canada is so screwed. Look how much we pay in Canada and we were taxed more. And look how much they pay to service their debt in the States. What a big difference. And that's why I keep putting up and comparing houses to the States from Australia to Canada. And people are like, you're not comparing apples to apples. I'm like, sure I am. You know how much money you need to make in Australia or in Canada to service that much of a debt? It's crazy. All right, let's go back to what Better Dwelling has in store for us here. New Zealand curbs property investment tax advantage, wants productive investment. So New Zealand has been for the longest time trying to keep their real estate under control because it's been very, very bad. The cost of living in New Zealand is just so out of control. They've stopped foreign investing. I think they put a foreign investment tax. I think they put down first-time home buyers tax. I think they've done everything in New Zealand, but New Zealand is still popping up buildings, and the median house price in Auckland is just over $1 million. And most homes, most homes don't come with a heater or insulation in the walls. You can't make that up. You can't make this up, people. You can't. I found out the other day, I confirmed it with several people in New Zealand, a lot of homes don't have heat in them. I'm like, what? What about all the mildew and the mold? Anyway, so, you know. All right, let's move on here. Bank of Canada announces end to many market support, suggests QE taper BMO. So Canadian Bank of Canada is going to stop bailing out quantitative easing and pumping up the markets. And so let's go over here. This is actually important here. The Commercial Paper Purchase Program, CPPPP. Then they have April 6th, the contingent term of repo facility.
They're monitoring that.
The guy's talking again. All right. So there it is, the repo markets there in Canada. Provincial Bond Purchase Program, May 7th. And May 10th, term repo operations will end with the final operation on May 4th. And May 26th, Corporate Bond Purchasing Program. Wow. Canada is in a lot of trouble. Wow. Canada's, when the banks and supports, they come into support, It's not looking good. I'm telling you, Canada is not looking good right now. Holy smokes. Even sacred cows should be on the table to fix the housing affordability, says RBC. So there it is right there. They're having bidding wars. Let me go over here. I made a video about this early. They're having bidding wars on campers. So a lady tried to sell a camper and people were bidding on a camper. Where to go? Oh, I read it earlier in the... They're adding fuel to the fire, and people are bidding on campers. You can't make this stuff up. Canadians' housing market, 5 things to know about possible slowdown and bidding wars on campers. There it is, right there. So there it is. Come on, where'd you go? Saw it earlier here, where multiple bidding wars on campers. So that's it. The Ottawa woman was shocked to be flooded with dozens of interested buyers when she put her camper trailer on the market for $7,000. She had so many inquiries, she vetted applications and then held an open house rather than deal with multiple showings. The people that bought it said they were interested in another trailer, and there were 14 interested, and there was a bidding war. So there it is right there. So they're bidding on trailers right now. It's out of control. Slim pickings in the housing market means buyer frustration, realtor burnout. So London, Ontario. This is coming out of London, Ontario. Booming housing market doesn't necessarily mean good times for everyone in the game. So people are having a tough time trying to get things sold, or getting things sold isn't the problem, is actually... dealing with so much at the same time. I mean, I don't feel for the realtors, but real estate agents, but you know, oh well. Tough times to all. Oh yeah. So we got people, who we got in the house tonight? We got Linny Poo in the house. We got Black Ginger in the house. Werewolf in the house. Saying Canada is a pipe dream. That's correct. Low Roller Scratcher is saying, does Canada still getting $2,000 a month for stimulus check? I don't know. I really don't know what they're doing with that. I've never got anything. I've never gotten... I don't know. I don't know what's happening with that. But I do have some good news, guys. I do. I really do. A lot of people are getting shafted now when they're doing their taxes this year. Apparently now people have to pay back money or something. I don't know what's going on. If I do find an article, I'll keep you guys updated on that. I don't think any of that money was free. I don't know. So I will find out for you guys if anything comes up. So Owen says, I think at this point you could make more money by buying a house, sitting on it for as long as you can, quit your job, and living off EI at this point because the house appreciates more than incomes. And that's gonna happen. That's a major deal. Where that caller that called in last week that told us basically that he's made more money from his real estate than he has working all his life, and that is really scary. Toronto Real Estate Show is, when is the crash, Mike? I don't think we're gonna see a crash anymore. I've been banking and betting and waging and hedging for a crash. But unfortunately, our GDP is too far hinged on real estate. Canada's GDP is too far hinged. It's 85% of our real estate is hinged on our gross domestic product. So we're exporting homes to China. Like, figuratively, we're doing that. And we've brought in the money laundering. We brought in tons of laundered money. We've propped up our GDP. We've got everything going. The feds, unless you get like a grassroots government in place, then maybe, just maybe, they may raise interest rates, and then we'll see a correction. Until they raise interest rates, we will never see a correction. And the people that can't afford to buy, or that that go bankrupt, there's going to be someone in line to buy their property from overseas, probably leave it empty, or just hold on to it as an asset and leave it alone, right? So there's people in the billions of dollars now. There's one guy I know from Shanghai that owns over 450 properties in Canada. He has never been to Canada. And he just sits on his properties. He doesn't even care. And that is a big issue. It's getting really bad. And then now they're seeing rental bidding wars happening right now in the center part of America, where a lot of people are getting rent evictions. In Texas and other places, because Californians will pay more for rent, and a lot of people are getting rent evicted, and a lot of people are getting forced into homelessness. So there's a huge stew, a huge pot of a mess coming. Are we going to see a crash? They will never let it crash. If we went by textbook 101 procedure, we will not. We would have seen a crash in 2010. Then we would have seen a minor correction in 2014, and then we would have seen the big crash from COVID. We would have seen the crash in 2020. We saw nothing. Nothing happened because Canada's competing for wealthy investors, and there's nothing we could do. There's nothing we could do about it. Anna Key is saying, if everybody sits on real estate instead of working, then we are definitely done, and I don't blame anyone for doing that. Nitin is saying the food prices are up, way up. So we got Low Roll Scratcher saying real estate is turning like crypto and Bitcoin, Mike Martins. So...
Yeah, the city says...
we got more talking here in the background.
In Capitol Hill and are aware...
All right, let's get to this article before it keeps jumping on me here. All right, let's go back to article scan. Price for Seattle homes continue to climb in the hottest housing markets in the U.S. Now, the reason why Seattle housing market is big is because in 2017, Vancouver put a foreign buyers tax. Everybody ran down to Seattle, and everybody else ran over to Toronto. And look what's happened to the two markets. They even have brochures in Mandarin. They actually have brochures in Mandarin right now for Seattle. They don't even print brochures. Like, there's some condos that are selling in Seattle right now in King County that you actually have to go to China to inquire about them. You can't even go to the building that they're building there in Seattle and actually inquire about buying a building there. You actually have to go to China to apply for an application to live in a house or an apartment in Seattle. That's what's happened there. Mr. Singh is saying, in your ticker, this should not be viewed by anyone ever. You spelled viewed wrong. That's correct. I can't read and I can't spell. Thank you for pointing that out. Keep up the good work. All right, so price for Seattle homes continue climbing, and it's going to continue going up because, again, all the blue states have sold out. All the blue states have sold out, and that is becoming a major, major issue because those people can't afford to live in those states anymore, and they're moving into the red states, and they're going to bring Amerifornia back. Amerifornia is going to be back. All over America. Not back. It's going to be all over America. That's what I meant to say. Arizona's affordable housing shortage. Arizona's affordable housing shortage near the worst in the U.S. Again, Arizona, why is Arizona the worst? And I'm going to explain to you guys again why Arizona is the worst. I'll explain to you. Arizona is the worst because it started out first. California has been being sold out since the late 90s, okay, to foreign investing. Like to Russians, Chinese, Arabs were buying in California like in the early 90s. Seattle's a little bit different because a lot of the money came in laundered into Washington State. And it came in 2017 in a huge tsunami wave. And that's really good. It's not really good. I'm sorry. I'm just reading the comments at the same time, and some people say things in there. And I'm looking at that at the same time while I'm commenting on this. So what's happened is Seattle was rocked by foreign money that's come in, and it's become a major issue for the locals living there. And you know what the funny part is? How they keep blaming the tech workers. They keep blaming the tech workers for this. And it's not the tech workers, because I spoke to a few tech workers, quite a few tech workers in King County, and they told me there's 5 to 6 of them in a one bedroom because they can barely afford to pay their rent. So it's not the tech workers. All right, let's move on, guys. Okay, here we go. Growing homeless camp on Seattle's Capitol Hill underscores citywide issue. So there it is. This is the article that keeps popping up and playing for us. So what do they have to say for us here?
This isn't
so there it is. There's the encampments there. It's getting really bad, especially when people with pensioners are forced into homelessness. This is really sad to see when pensioners are forced into homelessness, especially ones that fought in wars and stuff. I mean, okay, this lady here talking, nobody cares. All right, so there it is right there. People like living in closets, and they're not going to do anything about it because money talks, and that's what it's all about. Building affordable housing is not profitable, so they're not going to build it. And housing shouldn't be as expensive as it is. You shouldn't be building affordable housing because housing needs to be an asset. It's turning into a commodity. It's no longer an asset, and that's becoming a major issue. All right. Okay, I'm almost done here. Let me get Ralphie on the phone. Here. He tried calling me a few seconds ago. Let me call him right now and see what he needs. Yo, Ralphie, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Meg. How's it going?
You're looking good, buddy. Are you at work?
Yeah, for now. I've got employment. Do you like the smiley face in the background?
Oh, I see that right there. Yeah, on the what you call it, that magnetic board?
Yeah.
Okay, listen.
Hey, man.
Listen.
Yeah, what's up?
The city of Seattle in King County in Washington State, which is about maybe a 3.5-4 hour drive from me, have been making magazines and brochures in Chinese Mandarin and bringing in a ton of cash. And apparently, now listen to this. This is not new news. This has been happening for a while. If I want to buy in a specific tower in the city of Seattle, I need to go to Shanghai to inquire about it. The sales office is there. It's not even in America.
We have a lot of that in New Zealand real estate too, where a lot of the signs aren't even targeting English-speaking people. So we've got that all throughout the mall, all sorts of things, man.
Wait, but hold on a sec. Isn't New Zealand a British colony and the official language is English?
Last time I checked, but that may be different in the near future, right?
So what's going on? Like, give us a lowdown. What's happening there with housing? We had you on 2 weeks ago. Housing is just past $1 million in Auckland.
Well, I can only speak from my own experience. I'm a perfect case study of what your commenter Owen said in regards to my inflating property values versus income. I personally have made 3 times more my annual salary on my home by sitting on it and doing nothing, being unproductive, than working my bum off. But I've personally, as you know, my cushy corporate role of 6 or 7 years is coming to an end in 2 weeks. So this week I'll be wearing suits, but next week I'll be on the street corner with a guitar, singing your songs, looking homeless.
Really? Are you getting forced into homelessness, or are you choosing it by choice?
Well, you've heard of the Japanese term karoshi.
No, explain.
So karoshi is sort of a big thing that's happening in the Japanese corporate culture, where they get so overworked to a point that they either commit suicide or go into depression, that sort of thing. I felt like I was just another stat of karoshi, basically, because I'm in a cushy salary, and it's a corporate role. But what I'm coming down to is I could either, get so stressed and have a heart attack, or I could just have a break. And as you know, I'm going to enter fatherhood very soon. I've got my baby scan tomorrow, so looking forward to that. But there's a fine balance between earning money and your own mental health, right? Because what's happening is businesses are becoming so competitive in New Zealand to a point that they're stripping their workforces to the bare minimum to push profitability. Even so, 90% of businesses now aren't in the profitable line, and I know that by looking into the stats of who's paying out dividends and things like that. So a lot of businesses are going under. A lot of leases are up for renewal. So there's a lot of land grabs. There's a lot of monopolies and duopolies in New Zealand without much competitors, In the past, we've, created sort of anti-competition laws and things like that, but it just feels like it's a trickle-up effect where only there's a few players now. And I'll give you an example, if I may. So I've been looking into new roles, right?
Right.
So there's a big barrier now because you're competing with a lot more people, and there's that. But also, I noticed that a lot of roles, because of the climate we're in, they are not afraid to just pay you the very minimum. Like, I've went to 3 interviews, nailed all 3, right? But even though with my current skill set, they're all offering minimum wage, not even a living wage.
What is minimum wage there in New Zealand?
$20 an hour.
Wow. You know what? In Canada, I think it's like 12 or 11 bucks.
Wow.
Yeah. So you guys are not that bad, because in Canada, I mean in Canada, if $20 an hour in Canada, I think we're at 12. Somebody comment in the comments what minimum wage is. I think it's $11.75 or $12.75. I'm not sure. Yeah.
Not only that, Mike, but there's some scary new changes in the employment sector. So especially the ones that are in bed with our current government, who pushed all these mandates in an undemocratic fashion and in due haste. But there's a lot of employers now. You have to sign a clause that says that you will follow government guidelines on, wearing masks and maintaining physical distance, and basically being a yes man for the, COVID-19 tracking and all that sort of stuff. You have to give consent for that to get the role, to even be considered. And even if you are considered, they'll pay you the very minimum, right?
Okay, here we go, guys, real quick. We got $15 an hour in Alberta, $14 says Pastor Nate, $15 says Alan Howick, $11.75 in Saskatchewan. Area 51, my friend Mike saying $15.50. Quebec is $13.50. $11.06 in Manitoba.
So where's the incentive in working though? If like Owen says, you can sit on your property value if you're lucky enough to get in the first place. Where's the incentive in working?
I don't know,
Right?
man. I mean, the incentive, like, I go to work because I enjoy what I do. I like talking to people, hanging out. You know, there's
Well,
the
you're
average
lucky
bum fight
because-
outside I catch outside my store because I'm beside a liquor store and a marijuana store. So there's there's an average bum fight once in a while, and you know what I mean. It's nice, but
It's entertaining.
But to be frank with you, I wouldn't want to miss that. It's fun. It's fun being out of the house, you know, not being home all day, and you know.
Well, you're lucky in a way there, Mike Martins, because you've set up your own business. You know, you're doing you. But a lot of small businesses in New Zealand, because of the small pool that we have in terms of commerce, we've only got 4 million people. Everything is monopolized. There's either a monopoly or duopoly in every sector.
Mm-hmm.
And usually those monopolies, they follow the whole, you know, the whole agenda with following government guidelines, like you have to wear a mask. And I've spoken to a few people about this. You know, some people are getting skin infections and things like that, and you're still not exempt from it. And it's just really worrying because you got to remember New Zealand changed their Privacy Act recently. A revision from the 1993 edition. It's now got the Privacy Act of New Zealand 2020. So just at the start of the pandemic. But what people realize is essentially your private information. Private companies can do whatever they want with that as long as you give consent. So that's why a lot of these, you know, new jobs that I'm applying for myself, you know, they're really open about it, right? You have to give consent. But that's if you want, you know, an income. But isn't that a form of discrimination?
Woo! You know what? I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you a little secret. I was talking to my lawyer, Justin, the other day about this whole mask thing, asking him what he thinks about and stuff. You know what he told me? Your employer could remove you from employment until the pandemic is over, but needs to continue paying you wages if you do not want to get the vaccine or you don't want to wear a mask. But you can't get fired for that. So there's a lot of too many fine lines, and he's already got a few cases, like 8 or 9 different cases he's working on where employers need to pay you. In Canada, he's saying employer needs to pay you if you refuse to take. They can't forcibly make you take a vaccine to continue your employment. So, and if they have to you have to remove you and pay your wages until the pandemic is over, and then you could go back to work.
When will it be over, though?
No. Let me rephrase that question. When will they allow it to be over?
You know when? When they own everything, because that's the goal. I've heard of. Have you heard of the? There's a lot of hospitals, for example, if they don't follow the what's called MAID program, which is medical aid in death. Basically, the governments are shutting them down or finding ways to not renew their lease, that sort of thing.
Wow.
And even if they've, and yeah, there's plenty of these stories online. Even if they've invested, you know, $8 million in renovating the building and things like that because they have a lease, by default, if they don't, get that lease renewed, guess who gets that land? The government. So a lot of governments at the moment are acting like the 1980s mob structure.
Well, at least the mob structure, I mean, you stand to gain something from it in a way where, you know, I mean, you can't go against the corporate conglomerate big government, right? We break the law. Okay, let's say they fall short on paying some sort of whatever they have to do. They just print the money off and go ahead and pay for it. Me and you fall short of something financially, we can't print our own money off and pay off our bills. They could do that. The governments could do that, and that's tyranny.
You know what else is tyranny? Creating fines that, for example, I spoke to one of your listeners off air, and she was saying that for her job, she had to wear a mask by law. If she didn't, she would get a $500,000 fine. $500,000. Extortion, man.
Wow, that's not even pesos. That's a lot of money.
Well, what else if you were to spin a game of whatchamacallit, crime, and see what you could get away with because of the fines, there's so many other things that you could do than not wear a mask for a $500,000 fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
You could try and rob a bank, for example. I mean, hey, you might get away with that.
Right.
And you might get less of a fine for that, right? I mean, it's just ridiculous. So I feel like a lot of these governments have been talking hand in hand. It's much similar to the mob structure in the 1980s, New York City, where you had the 5 mob families. They kind of helped each other out, because, for example, say you get that fine, right, and you have to pay it. Otherwise, you get jail time, for example. Guess what you're funding? You're funding your own prison. So it's like I don't know, all these fines and laws that have been tweaked. It's a trickle-up effect that's got similarities to the mob structure. So it's really worrying. But so anyways, I've been applying for a lot of roles. Hopefully I'll get something soon. But what do you think of this as a form of silent protest? If I do have to wear a mask, right, I was thinking I've got a friend who locally hand makes these cotton masks, and she's got one pattern of it is like a cow imprint.
That's cute.
So yeah, it was really cute, really fashionable.
Mm-hmm.
But I was thinking maybe just if I'm forced to get my income, maybe I just wear that, because in a way it's symbolism to portray that I'm just another cattle.
Get one of a sheep.
Maybe I should do that, yeah, or just Guy Fawkes or something. But it's just, I don't know, I feel like as a person, especially with my political alignments and things like that, I almost have to censor myself just to try and get an income. That's why I actually closed down my YouTube today, Mike. So everything I do is now just on my website, ralphie.co.nz.
I couldn't find your YouTube today. I was looking for it. Yeah. I'm like, where is it?
I've closed it.
But I thought we were friends.
Well, I only go on YouTube because of you, Mike. I'm waiting for you to find a new platform. Even Skype. Skype is owned by Microsoft, right? So I was looking into things like Vibe. But yeah, I'm just starting to encrypt everything. I'm gonna go in the dark soon. You know what I mean? And only until I can, get employment, and then maybe once I get some income again, maybe I have the bravery to go back, because I've got a kid coming, right? So that's my priority.
You do. Congratulations on that.
Yeah. So we're going to be going into a 1-person income, which is very tight. We'll have just enough for a roof, food, but not $1 more. So we are friends, but I've had to cancel my Mike Martin's YouTube subscription as well.
That's okay.
It's really disheartening.
Don't worry about it, dude. It's family first. Family first, then God, then Mike Martin's. I'm joking. But you know what I mean.
Yeah. So, hey, look, I'm going to be in the dark for a while, but I'm still going to be listening. But because, family first. I've got a new baby. We just bought our own baby seats the other day, so it's really exciting time for us. And by tomorrow, I'll know if it's a boy or a girl. So that's me. But I just wanted to say that the job market in New Zealand, very competitive. It's almost like it's Hunger Games. And what better way to earn an income than just buy a house and sit on it? That's my strategy at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But likewise, I have started boycotting companies that, I noticed that force that mandate, even if it's a mask thing, because I feel like they're just creating a target on their backs. And I feel like personally, I only want to support the economy by supporting small businesses, especially if they're brave enough to go against the plan. Because at the moment, I feel like we're in an economic warfare. So we have our choices, but we're definitely in the trenches right now. Our property in New Zealand is being snapped up by foreigners to a point that, like I said, there's billboards all around the malls. It's not even in English, because that's where the economy is.
Well, of course, but for them to blame the tech workers, for them to blame millennials, for them to blame the cat in the hat for all these problems, they need to start focusing on, and we've been focusing on where the root of the problem is on this channel, for the last 7-8 years. And we've been targeting the root of the problem, but unfortunately, because this channel isn't big enough or we're not really well known, unfortunately, the word isn't getting out. And if the word did get out, and if we were creating traction, they'd just shut us down. So there's no way around it, no matter what we do.
But yeah, I'm keen to listen to some other callers now. I do have to go there, Mike, and thank you so much for taking my call. I know you're a busy
take
man.
care, Ralphie. God bless you. Okay.
I know, and God bless you. Please pray for my family because it's going to be a tough few months for us.
Okay.
But please pray for us, and likewise, I'll be praying for everyone else that may have similar stories because there's a lot of people hurting. They might put on a confident face, like I said. Here I am with a suit today. But where will I be in next month, right? So there's a lot of people with, putting on a confident face, but there's a lot of trouble happening right now. We're definitely in the trenches right now. It's no more talk. We're in the trenches.
All right. God bless, Ralphie. Take care. Stay strong.
God bless for everyone, and bless this community that we've built because really it's a lifeline for many people like myself.
All right, Ralphie. Be good, eh?
Okay, cool. God bless you. Bye.
God bless. Bye. That is Ralphie.co.New Zealand. Don't forget to check out his website. He took down... I couldn't find his YouTube channel. I'm like, where is Ralphie's channel? And he just took down his channel. So we got people talking about Asperger's disease. Asperger's. In the... Beyond the Pale is saying, best of luck, Ralphie. So it's going to be very interesting to where things are going. But
You're talking about all men.
All right, let's move on. Let's go back to the last article we left off on. Housing market has become hot for sellers in North Texas. Sellers are receiving many offers over the asking price, according to the Dallas Business Journal. And sellers are starting to add demands to the price, such as waiving appraisals and inspections. One realtor observed that he has never seen a market like this before. Amerifornia is coming. Amerifornia. The second the new president-elect, Joe Biden, was selected in the United States, America's now going to catch up to Canada, New Zealand, the UK. Canada, New Zealand, the UK, and Australia. America is a couple of years behind because of the disruption in the presidency. Now, it's back on track for Amerifornia. Unaffordability across America. And give it till was it 2030? I said by 2030, America's GDP will be based off real estate. 85%, just like Canada is. We got Morgan in the house asking if I started early. No, I started on time, exactly on time. And we got Morgan. Morgan said he's gonna. I talked to him today at the store. He said I'm trying to get him down to the U.S.-Mexican border to do some videotaping for us and find out what's going on. Let's get Morgan on the show right now. I need to find out what the hell is going on in the Arizona. We do have Arizona housing discussion here, too, we're discussing here. Let's see if we can find Morgan. Morgan, where did you go? Morgan Davies. There he is. No, that's somebody else. Where did Morgan Davies go? Morgan, are you there, buddy? If you want to give me a call, you can. I'm just trying to find you here on my Skype. Man, there's so many people. I got over 2,000 people on Skype now. Okay, Morgan. No. Why isn't he coming up? He's not coming up. There he is. There he is. Let's see what he has to say. Yo, Morgan, what's up, buddy?
What's going on, Mike? How are you today?
I'm doing good. Thanks for calling me earlier today at the shop.
Oh, you're welcome. Anything for you, Mike.
Okay, so what the heck is going on? I know housing. I know Arizona is experiencing. I have it right here. House prices. Okay, hold on a sec. House prices. Where's that Arizona one I had up here? It's crazy. What's happening in Arizona right now for housing? They're having their month-over-month highest February. The month of February was the highest month in uptick and pricing. and sales in Arizona.
Yeah, without a doubt, Mike. Yeah, the prices are just skyrocketing, man. I mean, you can't. It's so expensive now. It's just gone. I mean, everybody's talking about it. It's like they're asking like $30,000 overselling for these houses that they've got now.
You know, in Canada,
least.
it's the average overselling is anywhere from like 160 to 400. I've seen one go over the price 1.4 million.
Yeah, I'm glad we're not there yet. But it's
You're not
like,
there
you
yet.
know, with
Amerifornia
all
is
this
coming. Do you
exponential
think, is my prediction right? Amerifornia.
Yes, Mike. Well, I mean, we're waiting on Texas. You know, once Texas goes, the rest of the country goes. Arizona's already gone. You know, we're already little California at this point. I mean, you can see it in the last election. You can see with the prices, with the culture, with the graffiti, the homeless, the crime, the taxes. Not the taxes yet, but I'm sure that's coming down the pipes.
Because there was an article up a few days ago where someone tagged me on it on Instagram, stated that Texas is now becoming the new California.
Oh yeah, without a doubt. They almost came close to voting for Biden this last go around. You know, I mean, as soon as that happens, I mean, you can say, you know, Amerifornia's in the bag. You know, there's some states that'll never go Amerifornia. You know, but you know, as far as the country's concerned, we're pretty much done for.
I'm concerned. I'm really concerned about what's happening because, like I said, America's the last bastion of light, freedom, the whole thing. And I know Joe Biden is causing he's been in power for 7, 8 weeks, 10 weeks or something. Man, this guy is on a roll to really screw things up.
Yeah, he's really flushing this country down the drain, Mike. And I mean, with our border crisis going on right now, they're dumping people in our streets.
You were telling me people are being dropped off, and then whoever the driver drives away and just leaves people there.
If you look it up, anybody listening can look it up. It's on the mainstream media, Reuters, wherever you want to find it. There's a town south of Phoenix called Gila Bend. The Border Patrol drove over there and dropped off 6 families in the middle of the street. Just dropped them off and said, "Your problem now." The mayor had to take him into his house. They're housing him in the park, and the mayor himself literally had to drive these migrants all the way up to Phoenix to a homeless shelter. That's how bad it is. I haven't even been down there yet, but that's the crisis type of stuff that's happening right now.
Okay, when you get a chance, get down to that border. I know it's an hour away, but get down there and do some coverage for us.
I will. I plan to do it soon. I hope to get down there
Do
soon.
like 50 minutes. Just do it in clips, 5-minute clips. Do different fences, open areas in the border. Walk along. As long as you stay on the American side, there shouldn't be any problems, right?
Well, the border region's pretty bad, man. I mean, that's where the shootouts happen, and you know, people don't go down there unless they have to.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know there was like,
Yeah.
it was like, I thought it was just like watching people come in and saying, "Hi, buenos dias, welcome to America."
I mean, that's that could happen. I mean, I'm not afraid to go down there, but most people in Arizona are afraid to go down there.
Really?
I would go down there. Yeah, most Arizonans will not go down there. Most Arizonans will not go down within 20 miles of that border without a gun.
Really?
Really. I'm not making that up.
Oh, I believe you. I believe you 100%. I speak Spanish. I learned Spanish. I just kind of just pretend I'm one of them or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, but most of it, it's like, you know, when these migrant families come over here, it's not like the people that they had to drop off at the homeless shelter are bad people.
No,
You know,
of
they
course
want a
not.
better
No.
life for themselves. But, you know, it's all political, you know. It's not anything against them. It's not anything. It's, you know, most of these people coming over here, but you have to remember the people that cross the border illegally, they're being smuggled across. So
Coyotes.
people that are smugglers, they're coyotes, they're gangsters, they're, you know. So it's not so much the poor Mexican families that are coming over here, so much as it is the coyotes that are bringing them over here that are going to be dangerous. Or there are actual dangerous people coming across the border. I mean, that does happen too. But it's like Trump said that everybody went down his throat for back in 2015. They're not sending their best people, right? Not, he maybe misspoke a little bit, but they're sending people that mostly are good. But given the crisis that we're in right now with the coronavirus and all that, and the economic and the trillions of dollars that we're printing, we simply cannot take in all these people here. Not to mention our housing prices are just going up and up and up, and they've got to live somewhere. We don't have the infrastructure for it. We don't have the housing for it. I mean, we have a crisis here just with Californians coming over here, and they're American citizens, most of them. So we can't have migrant crises right now.
And how do you feel about a lot of them being put up in hotels now?
Well,
was it $86 million?
They did it. That's what I mean. But those ones are the ones that, I mean, they put them on planes and ship them to inland, up by the Canadian border.
Yeah, we did cover that on Mike in the Night, where they're flying in on the Canadian border so they get processed on the Canadian border side and then come into America, like the Buffalo, Detroit side, like Seattle, like that kind of side, like from that part of America.
Yeah, that's what they're doing because there's just no space here. I mean, you saw I'm sure you saw the Project Veritas pictures of the migrants in space blankets.
Mm-hmm. We did see that, yeah.
Which is, I mean, that's horrible. I mean, like at least with the chain link fences, they had video games they could play. It wasn't pretty. Obviously, chain link fences, so evil, right?
Mm-hmm.
At least they had like some modern comforts, much better than where they came from. Now they're making them sleep on the floor with space blankets.
So here it is, the article here. The one you sent me. Dropping off migrants with unchecked health and criminal history, like opening Pandora's box, Arizona border town mayor to RT. So there it is. There's people coming in right there. And he goes in the quotations to say, we want to see their health records are so we can ensure that our citizens are protected. We have asked for that documentation, and we are yet to be provided with any documentation until we start seeing that.
They don't get tested on the border. There's no testing for these people coming, and it's all about testing for the people that already live here. The American citizens have to get tested. We got to wear the masks. We got to play the game. It's like you get the sniffles, you got to go get tested. Everybody's got to get the vaccine. These migrants that come here completely unchecked. We can't be racist. We've got to let them all in.
So this kind of scratches off the list if this COVID thing is even real.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention, I mean, it's like that article you had. First of all, I got to tell you, the video that you had the other day with the nuclear farts, that was hilarious.
Yes.
And this morning, the crispy, really, that's what I because the local news made a post about that, about they're giving Krispy Kreme donuts to people to get the vaccine.
Yeah, I covered that on my news show the other day. Yeah.
It's like, this isn't really about health, is it?
No, it's not about health. If they're giving one donut a day for the rest of your life, that means you're dead in a year.
Yeah, no kidding.
I'm just joking. It's one donut a day for a year.
It's not about health. It's about them feeling good about themselves, I guess. I don't know what it is. I don't know what kind of. I'm not a real conspiratorial type of person compared to like some of the David Icke types and whatnot. But it's like, I mean, donuts they don't talk about the vitamin D. They don't talk about the zinc. They don't talk about vitamin C. They don't talk about exercise. They don't talk about getting out in the sun. It's nothing. None of it's about. It's more of a Mike in the Night topic, I guess. But
yeah.
None of it's about health. It's about you're complying with what our country needs, with what the collective needs.
Wow, I can't believe it's getting this out of hand so fast. I didn't know he was gonna. Apparently now, okay, guys, you're hearing this first before you see this on any other media source. But there's going to be another stimulus bail-in very shortly, and you know how much it's going to. Do you know how much it's going to be?
Another $1,400 for everybody.
No. I'm not talking about money for people. I'm talking about a bail-in. like for the corporations and for the real estate market. For you know what they're looking in. You know how much the figure is?
How much?
4 trillion.
Yeah. See now, if
3 to 4 trillion. You heard it here first.
Our inflation just in the last year, our food prices have gone up. Not probably 50%. Probably 50%. The gas prices are skyrocketing in this country. The housing prices in Arizona have probably doubled within the last year. And you would think people wouldn't be so big into moving around during the COVID thing, but our houses are gone as soon as they go up for sale. Like I said, $30,000 over asking. So what they're willing to pay for these houses.
Well, you're gonna start to see homes go 200,000-300,000, 400,000 over asking. And I'm just telling you from experience from living in Canada and studying Australians' housing patterns, New Zealand's housing patterns, and the UK's housing patterns, and all of the blue states in America, studying those patterns over the last 10 years. Amerifornia will be coming. It's already in Arizona. So you guys are Arifornia?
Arifornia.
And then it's going to be Texifornia.
Texifornia. Yep.
Yeah.
That's not there yet, but it's getting close. It's getting close, and they publicize it too. It's like everybody knows the Californians are going to Texas, going to all these other states. Everybody knows it. It's not like it's a hidden thing. It's not, and they're not talking about it in the news as if it's like, a problem that needs to be faced. It's like, oh, no, people just want to leave, whatever. They want something new. It's not the fact that California's government is so completely destroyed and, that they've done everything so backwards that, that they can't live. You can't live there anymore. And it's like, can you blame the Californians? No. And it's not a problem that the Californians are leaving, because we're all Americans, right? We help each other. We welcome each other, all that. But, a lot of these people don't have the self-awareness to realize, like, you're leaving that state for a reason, and the problem is at least 80% of them don't realize. I mean, I don't know the exact numbers. I'm just guessing, based off what I've seen. But these people coming from all these other states, they don't have the self-awareness to realize, like, hey, we screwed up our state. Like, let's not screw up other people's states.
Right. And that's becoming a major issue, and that is this is a win-win for the politicians to the left, because then this will stop a secession movement.
Big win. And you know what? People think like, oh, Trump, he'll be back in 2024. Not with the statistics looking like this. I mean, everybody moving out of California, like I said before, it only takes a certain percentage of people to tip the scales in another direction. And you think Trump's going to come back and save the day? Well, he missed the chance. He missed the opportunity to fix this. And now, because of that, he's not going to come back. We're not going to get Republicans again. It's not happening.
Scary. All right.
It is scary.
I'll let you go. We're going to have you back on Mike in the Night this Saturday if you get some time, and give us an update on the border crisis, on what's happening.
We'll do. I'll try to look into it some more. I've been busy. I haven't even seen. I mean, they're saying that our homeless shelters are full now. That's what I've heard. I don't know. I haven't been to them. I haven't looked around, but that's what I've heard.
Yeah, do some poking around and do some investigative journalism, and send us clips on Skype if you can. If you can't, it's okay. Just give us an update on the ground there, okay?
All right, Mike.
Thank you so much. God bless you. So that is our man Morgan out of Arizona. So he's been following the whole what's happening there, and housing. He said it's doubled pretty much in the last year alone. And the problem is there's nothing wrong with housing doubling in price. It's your wages doubling in price. That's the problem we're having here. Your wages aren't going up and double. That's a big problem when wages don't keep up with the cost of living. All right, who else is in the house? We got Supreme Cannon in the comments. We got Lenny Poo in the house. Alan Howick is saying he accepts BTC. He's going to leave a code to his crypto wallet if you want to send Alan some money, some Bitcoin. Peter O'Brien brought up a really good comment. He says it depends how bad it gets. People get more conservative in tough times. That's true. People do become more conservative in tough times. All right, let's keep going. So here it is right here. We got a Florida market here. We should get what's her name on the show from Florida. She's saying Orlando is being bought up left, right, and center. Let's see if we could get her on Skype here. If I could get her on Skype from Florida, she could tell us what's happening in the Orlando region, because she's been telling me that housing is being bought up and left empty, like left, right, and center, and people buying up 3, 4, 5, 6 homes at a time and just like leaving them, and letting the prices just sit there and letting the prices go up while the locals starve. Okay, Dorico's calling in. Hey, what's up, D?
Hey.
You doing okay? Hello? 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 D, are you there? We lost D. He's probably on Barbra Streisand's airplane. So he's probably on his way somewhere. All right, let's see if we could get let's see if Stephanie picks up the phone down in Florida. Yeah, we're getting major connection issues here. I hope Stephanie's okay. I want to get her on Skype here down in Florida, and she was telling us that the housing market is going crazy down there, and prices, the average price of a home. Okay, Dorico's calling us back. What's up, D?
Hey. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. How you doing, buddy? You doing okay?
I'm good. I'm going to not try to swear. I promise.
Okay.
All right. So today I went out and I spent money. You know why? I spent reckless money.
What'd you buy? Bitcoin?
Oh, worse. I picked up a 650 White Star for like no money at all. It was like less than 5K. It was like, are you Adam at your tree?
What is that?
Oh, it's like a motorcycle.
Oh, okay, cool.
An old man white cruiser.
Nice.
I'll show it to you. Oh yeah.
Are you joining a motorcycle gang or something?
Dude, I found one, but I could only join that one. It's in Minneapolis.
Oh.
It's a law enforcement one. I thought that would be awesome. I'd fight the law, but the law win.
Mm-hmm.
The sheriff group, they have a shooting club. They're dude that I found out about it owns a lilac farm that infuses lilacs and marijuana for a CBD rub.
A CBD rub.
Oh, dude, I found another dude. He has the triple concentrate. His name is JJ. He works in hemp concrete.
Dynamite.
Oh, dude.
You're
this
talking
stuff,
about
way
all men.
better. And I was like, shit. But I like my buddy because he's like 2 feet away from the border. Woo! I know. I'm a terrible person. Oh, I suggest everybody look into the Irish consulate. They are giving almost away immigration to them, which is good news for you because that gives you access to the EU without having to worry about taxes because you can go in as a corporation and do the Irish double-flavored tax rotation, just like Google and Apple.
So Ireland, what you could apply for citizenship in Ireland? Is that what you're saying?
Oh yeah.
But Ireland's tough. It's a tough place to live right now because of the foreign investing has really crippled the 3-4 major cities in Ireland. Has gotten so bad from foreign investing that housing went from 170,000 euros to like 400,000. And there's a lot of Irish sleeping rough. A lot of families, though. We're not talking about some bum on the street. We're talking entire families with 3-4 kids sleeping on the streets and subway, like not subway stations, but like in those underpasses and stuff. It's pretty bad.
Oh no! I agree. Like about a month and a half ago, well, maybe about 2. Right before all the crazy, before Biden was elected and all. And
Selected.
we're not supposed to, fortified. The election was fortified.
You're talking
to
about
ensure stability.
all men.
I don't know. Freak, you made me lose my point. And I was about to swear. See? Didn't swear. Oh, yes, I agree with the Ireland real estate going up, but that is going to be pretty much the only access to the EU by boat anytime soon, because with the UK jumping out of the EU and they're already starting the 800 war. Remember, UK and France have never gotten along, ever. Okay, they've always fought over the fishing rights. You're always going to have people mad. It was Austria. Yes, it was Austria that invaded Germany a bunch of times, and then Germany basically lost their shit. And that was like World War II zone.
You're talking about
because it was Hitler, not World War I.
Okay, hold on a sec. A lot of people don't know that Poland invaded Germany twice before Germany invaded them, went back and actually attacked them.
Oh, well, okay, I got a book in my hand. It's called The Rise and Fall of the Third Reich. It was written by a guy named William L. Shire.
That's a nice name.
It kind of reminds me of The Hobbit, so that's a long read. That's a tough read. But yeah, you'll see a lot of city assets be starting to sell. One of the ones that I know locally here, City Hall of St. Boniface, was estimated worth, when I was looking at projects on the RTF, or RFP, my bad, was 1.4 million as an asset. It got sold for $10K to effectively Disability Manitoba, which was Society of Manitoba Disabilities about 20 years ago. They had prime property that they basically popped over to, who did they sell that one to? Probably the universities at that time. But yeah, the Irish consulate stuff is how they are going to lock out EU, because you're going to have a passport for that pass. And because cell phones and all of that burner stuff is going to be easy access for everybody. But if you're on the opposite side of the island, you're not going to get caught up by like people that got caught in like Croatia. Beautiful turf. Yeah, that's going to happen. And I feel sad for everybody, because what was it? I picked up hardware to do reno, because it was the first time I've done reno in probably 4 years. Went and picked up lumber, and 3 sheets of wood that I would use were prohibitively expensive. And then I thought to myself, holy crap, imagine if you have no budget to do this stuff. Like,
you just got to be like a typical Surrey landlord. You just don't do any renovations or any repairs on the place the entire time you're there. You just leave it as is. You don't even paint the place when the people move out.
Oh, dude, that gets me to the Winnipeg Police Services have drones now instead of the police helicopters. I think that is what the big hoobabaloo in Winnipeg versus the Winnipeg Fire Department is bitchy because they want to be part of the ambulance crew, and the police want to keep their helicopter. I found that funny.
Interesting.
But anyway, I know, because Winnipeg, there is something called, I blew up something, didn't I? Give me a second. Nope. It was the Supreme Court on Wednesday in the United States is looking at if people can, the cops can just roll into your turf as community safety.
Well, they try to pass something in Toronto or in Ontario somewhere where the police are allowed to go in your house and do a breathalyzer test on you at any time.
Yep, because that falls under the OPP, Ontario Provincial Police, which has a different structure. It's sort of like the OPP can't jump across the border to deliver a prisoner to, say, like they want to go to like Detroit or something like that, they have to drop them off at Canada Border Services Guard. And even then, Border
talking
Services
about
Guard and
all men.
OPP aren't allowed to mingle anymore after an incident. I could go across the street and find out from my neighbor what year he did that.
Guys, simple, SYMPLE, SYMPLE is in the comments. He says, I am 31 and I can't afford a home as a first-time home buyer, so I'm moving out of the country. Simple, can you add me on Skype, Mike Martins 1980? Tell us your story, Mike Martins 1980. Okay, D, I got to let you go because I got to get through a few more articles here.
Go to Africa. Go to Africa, because Africa's got the next big build. And that's where the next wave infrastructure is going, and that will be where the next wave jobs are. But it's going to be rough for the first little bit. I really suggest watching the California Citrus Convention with Peter Zeinan, and he'll break down the geopolitics and the geographic of the population densities of the different countries really quickly for you guys. Anyways, I love you guys. Night.
God bless. Bye, D. So that's D Rico coming into the conversation here. If I would like simple SYMPLE to add me on Skype, Mike Martins 1980. If you don't mind. Okay, wait. We got a message here from Hitting Stack saying, hey Mike, pray for my mom. She has the suspected cancer on her neck. Oh. Well, that's from Hitting Stacks. I just got the message right now. So on Monday, I don't really check my Skype too much because it just blanketed with the comments on here. So Hitting Stacks, we praying for your mom. Who else we got? Just trying to see here. I want people to first-time callers to call in. All right, let's get rid of some of these articles here. So this is happening, guys. So I want to show this to you guys so you guys can see. So the average sale price of a home in Florida from February 2020 was $361. And now it's $465. Paid in cash $6,936. Closed sales $22,947. So more and more people are paying for cash for their homes. And again, a lot of that money is when it's being laundered through a place. That's usually why you pay cash for stuff, to unload cash. Bargains disappearing and overvalued. South Florida housing market, again, it is severely overvalued. They know it's overvalued. When you're paying more than $350,000, you're going nuts down there. Housing price rise by 7.5%. That's in England. That's in London, England. The rate of growth has eased in the January compared to 8% from the year December 2020. So prices in England are going up, and a large part of this success is down to the adoption of technology and driven solutions, from remote viewings to widespread of automated valuation models. So what's been happening is you usually get a lot of people when someone sent me a photo of a bidding war in Sydney, Australia, and one in London. And there's a bunch of people on a phone, like on Skype, with the buyer. The person on Skype, the person there is not buying. They're bidding for somebody overseas, and they're looking and they're bidding and they're bidding and they're just bidding on the property with the buyer on the phone because they're in China. They're not going to be in London. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people that own these properties have never been to these countries. You know what I'm saying? All right, let's keep going here.
You're talking about all men.
So here it is, guys. 40% of households in 4 London boroughs claiming housing costs report. So there it is. At least 40% of households in 4 London boroughs are having to claim help with affording a place to live. There you go. You already have 8 million people in England that are living below the poverty line. You have more subways. You have more food banks than you do Subway sandwiches and McDonald's and Burger King put together. England is in a mess. All right, let's look at the markets. What's going on, guys? The All Ords is still open. Markets in Australia are open for another 2 hours and 57 minutes. We got the All Ords at 7,024, up 10 points. The ASX 200 is up right now, 15.2 points. Australian to US dollars at 75 cents. Oil is at $60.75 a barrel, down 43 cents. Gold is sitting around the $1,733 mark. Bitcoin is down $2,396 Australian. That's, I don't know what that is in Canadian and American. So right now the markets we want to look at is the FTSE is up 13.7 at 6,712. That's over in England. And then we got the Dow Jones closed 3.09 points down, sitting at 32,420. The DAX at 14,610, down 51.63%. The Hang Seng in Hong Kong, 27,918, down 579. The Nikkei 225 is up 204 points, sitting at 28,610. Remember at the beginning of last year when COVID hit and I said, oh, the Nikkei 225 is going to go down to below 10,000. Look at it. It's at 30,000 with COVID and all that cool stuff. Got some good news. If you're living in Australia and you're an artist, arts industry gets a $135 million boost. Woo! Oh, yeah.
You're talking about all men.
Oh, yeah. All right. I'm getting a couple of pop-ups here, guys. Sorry about that. So they're always trying to advertise you something here. And, yeah. Anyways, so what is going on? The markets are going nuts. What are your tickers saying? I'm down a little bit on a few tickers. I'm down on my oil. I don't care. I'm just going to keep doubling down and tripling down on oil because I have a feeling that oil is going to start... Energy. Let's put it this way. Energy will resurge. I think there's some countries that don't want to open up. England doesn't want to open up. They're fining people £5,000 for leaving England, and they're going to make it illegal to travel outside of the UK. So they want to make it in a way where you can't even leave because you're going to go to Zimbabwe or you're going to go to Costa Rica or Mexico, and you're going to realize everything's open and the world is back to normal as is. Like you can't find that out. If you're living in England, what do they expect? You not to go online and see a live webcam from Houston, Texas, or watching the live Super Bowl or something, or watching some Olympics or something where the whole world's open? What is the deal with England? If you're living in the UK, I want to know what the heck is going on. Why are they not allowing you to leave your own country and you get a £5,000 fine if you take a vacation?
You're talking about all men.
Oh, yeah. You can't make this stuff up. If I told you guys that 5 years ago, you'd look at me and say, Mike, you're absolutely ludicrous. Black Ginger is saying Canada will do the same. I really hope not. So it looks like Mike Banks in the comments. Lobster Boy saying, this is a communist takeover. That's why we can't leave. Because I heard, I'm not kidding you guys. A lot of people in London, especially London proper, that have a little bit of scratch saved. They got maybe £7,000-8,000 in their bank account. They don't have too much debt. Have a little bit of a bag of clothes. What's to stop them from going to Argentina or going somewhere else or somewhere secluded in the Mexican area? Bartending and just making a basic wage just to get by. Because you're doing the same thing in England. Oh, but I could be making more money in England. Yeah, but you're paying more money to live. It doesn't make any sense. I moved to the small town I'm in, 2.5 hours out of Vancouver, because I wanted more disposable income. My rent right now would be $3,500 a month from what I was renting down there. Would be about $3,500, maybe $4,000 a month. When if I was to mortgage, let's say I was to mortgage the house I'm in, would be less than $1,000 a month if I was to mortgage it. I took the down payment I had in Vancouver to buy a house and just bought this one in cash. You know what I'm saying? So SYMPLE is just adding me on Skype. I'd like to add you on Skype. All right, let's make a phone call here.
Hey, Mike.
Yo, is this simple?
Yes, sir. How are you?
Good. Okay, tell us your story. You're 31 years of age, and you're in the first-time home buyers bracket, and you're just leaving the country because you can't get into the market.
Well, yeah. So I pretty much spent a couple of years saving up for a down payment, and my credit score is not too bad. It's pretty good. I mean, if it was a couple of years back, I would have no issues getting a mortgage. But as the times have changed, it's making it much more difficult for me to be able to earn that. So I was laid off because of COVID, like early on in 2019. Sorry, 2020.
Yeah.
And yeah, so I essentially just transitioned into an online business, so pretty much just using eBay and Amazon, you know. And so I was making some income from there. I have some money saved up, and yeah, like I'm apparently not in the bracket that can earn enough to get approved for a mortgage to begin with. So I started doing some research online, and like, you know, you watch YouTube videos and you always see these people come up with like, you know, travel vlogs, and they're like traveling the world, making money doing that kind of stuff. I like it all seemed like a pipe dream like back in the day. I'm like, you know, that's like a luxury for certain people. But then like starting to actually look into it, I realized how much more feasible it really is as opposed to staying here. So for example, if I was to pretty much rent a place here, the equivalent to like, you know, something I would have bought for myself, like a condo or something. The condo prices now are like almost $2,000 a month for like a 1 bedroom, right?
Right. Yeah.
So my down payment, I think I have about $20,000 saved, but like that down payment would be gone in like 10 months just on rent, not including food or anything, right? So I started doing some more research on like other countries around the world. I started looking at Southeast Asia, and I gotta tell you, man, you can get a nice 1 bedroom condo with like a rooftop pool, a nice view in like Thailand for $300 a month. You know, and like
the problem with Thailand is I've been to Thailand several times. The only problem with a lot of countries, it's not like Canada. You just the problem is you can't work there and you can't live there.
Right.
That's the problem. You know, in Mexico, I know that you might find this hard to believe, but you know what? I lived for 2 years in Mexico. Did you know that in Mexico, if they catch you as an illegal alien or working illegally, you could do up to 24 months in prison?
Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah, it's very different in those countries. Those countries, it's not like Canada where people come in and they get a hotel and they settle in, and I don't know what happens, but Thailand, you could go, but then you have to actually pay for an extension to stay longer, and you have to actually do quite a bit of research on that end. Yes, it is cheap. I've been there. I spent 3 months there one time. It's the longest time I spent there. And let me tell you, as a friend, you got to be I was going to buy a bar. Didn't work out because they don't sell to foreigners. I was going to buy a little bit of a house with a little bit of land to maybe create a rice field or something like that. They don't sell to foreigners. So, yeah, you got to be very careful with that. And I'm telling you as a friend, like that back end, please research that. I know people that bought a house in Mexico that are watching my channel, and they're like, no, we own our house in Mexico. We built it. And then they went back and went through their safe, looked through their paperwork, and they found out they were on a 100-year lease.
Oh, wow.
See? You got to be super careful. I would recommend more of Latin America than Asia, because in Latin America, they give you paths to citizenship. Like if you go to Costa Rica, or if you go to another one you should look at is Belize. Belize is a good one. They speak English there.
Okay.
It's a good country. It's a good country. Belize is actually not that bad. They got a decent police force there. They have very good community in Belize. And there is a path to citizenship there.
I heard Bali right now is really good too. They're giving out 5-year work permit visas, even if you're not working, or like if you're aspiring to work like online. I think it was you that mentioned that.
That's right. It's Bali.
Yeah.
Yes. But if you could work from online, like from a Canadian firm in Bali, that would work too. Like that could work too if they're giving you the permission to stay there and you're not going to be hindered, right?
Right. Yeah. No, because the way I'm thinking about it is like, I'm not working for any corporation or company. Like I'm not attached to anything like that. I just I'm pretty much in the collectibles and trades market, so I buy and sell a lot on eBay. So like most of my transactions are made in like Canadian or American dollars. So I'm thinking, since that's not like taxable, right? Because it's like a personal like asset, like it's just buying and selling like a collectible, like trading cards and stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to figure that out if I would have to pay taxes on something like that, because it's no different than like if I just set up a garage sale and sold these items, like I wouldn't have to pay taxes for that, right?
No. Well, it depends. It depends where you're claiming your income, where your income is being claimed, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
if you're claiming the income like in a foreign country, you might have to claim income tax because you've made that money in that country.
Oh, so even if it's cash transactions?
Well, you don't have to claim it. I mean, if they find out about it, it becomes a problem.
Really? So if I sell like personal assets of mine, then I would have to pay taxes on that regardless. Like, I mean, once I claim it.
If you know what, I'm going to tell you a little secret. You know, I sell on eBay too, right?
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do.
You know, I had to give over all of my tax information, my corporation information, all my GST and all my stuff because the federal government made a deal with eBay. You know that eBay and Canada are the only two countries, I mean, it's the only country on the planet, and eBay as itself, as a corporation, that's actually involved with eBay when it comes to taxing and incomes from their sellers?
Really? Canada?
Just Canada only. No other country in the world. Do you know that Canada was going to prohibit Canadian sellers for selling on eBay if eBay didn't turn over all of the information to the federal government?
Really? So
Yep.
you're saying we're all pretty much put in the database right now?
Exactly.
If oh my God.
Yes, what's happening is eBay is forwarding now to the federal government. Now, with me, it's a little different because it goes right through my corporation. I don't get paid from eBay. eBay gets paid into my corporation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So then you have to claim all your taxes and everything that you
Through the
that
corporation for my
corporation,
rent
right?
for my building, my expenses for operating my business. But then, I only draw shares for my company once a year when I want to pay myself.
Okay. Yeah. Like you add yourself as a payee.
Yeah. So that's what I do. I just pay myself if I need to, and if I don't pay myself, right?
So how would this work with like if you're a private seller, like not a business seller?
I
on
understand
eBay?
you're a private seller, but your information now, the federal government knows you're selling on eBay, and the federal government knows what you're making on eBay now. And I just want you to know that.
Right. So so if I was to do this, then let's say overseas, right? Like in a different country. So then I would go under. That means the only way to avoid that is if I was making my money in their currency, not in Canadian dollars.
Well,
Is that
yeah,
what you're
because then
saying?
once you're making, but then you have to pay income. If you get caught, there's a very good chance if you're in Bali or if you're in Thailand and you're selling stuff online, there's a very good chance they don't care.
Okay.
In Canada, the government cares about every dime you make, and they want their percentage.
Right. You got to pay Caesar, right?
You got to pay Cesar. That's right.
Oh boy.
So, yeah, you'll be fine. You go to Bali, you could get away with it for 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Nobody would even, as long as you're cool with your neighbors, you're not pissing anybody off, everything should be okay.
Right. Yeah. And you're stimulating the economy. I think I think you mentioned the reason why they're trying to open it and make it easier for foreigners because they're heavily relying on tourism, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I figure, you know what? Like, hey man, if rent for a nice villa on the beach is gonna cost me $400-500 a month, and food is next to nothing, I can actually save money this way. You know what I mean? Rather than blow my down payment in like 10 months here, and like, what do I have to show for it after, right?
Oh, you'll be forced into homelessness here.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. It's getting really bad. Like, I never thought I'd be at this age and not own my own house yet. Like, I even prepared from years ago. Like, I'm ready now, but now it's like you're out of luck, you're a little too late.
Well, here's the thing.
So,
I have people that were watching my channel from 2012, 2013, 2014, watching my channel and laughing at me.
mm-hmm.
There were 17, 16-year-olds. Now they're 26.
Yeah,
and they're in this position. They're like, holy crap, this thing's still going on.
Yep.
So,
and you know what? I don't even see an end in sight right now. They're already trying to say there's new strains and like it's worse than the first time. And like, see, my main concern is like what's going on with England now. Like they're finding people for trying to leave the country. I feel like soon, yeah, it's ridiculous. I feel like they're trying to create like prison countries where people are not allowed to leave, because if they do leave and they happen to see how other places are, they might even get the idea to, you know, migrate and like take residences maybe somewhere else, and that's going to be detrimental to the system, right? So I think countries right now are trying to restrict movement as much as possible so that they can, like, you know, maintain control over its citizens. Because if you have a large migration of people who are fed up with the system moving across the borders, you know, that's going to be hectic to deal with, I think, you know.
I don't know what's going to happen on the Canadian American side, but they're making it really tough. Canada's making it tough for Canadians going to America. And this whole COVID, they could make this COVID thing go for the next 10 years while the rest of the world is open, right?
Right, yes, yeah. And the thing is, if they block you from traveling, then, you know, you miss your window of opportunity to get out of, like they say, you know, get the heck out of Dodge. Right. That's what I'm trying to do right now. Before, like, they say, you know what, everything's closed and nobody's allowed to leave anymore. Then you lose your opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Do you know what that saying means? Get out of Dodge.
You know what? I've heard it many times. I know, like, it means, like, you know, in a rush, but I don't know exactly where it derived from.
Well, getting out of Dodge is a saying. They used to say it back in Detroit. Means like we need to get out of Dodge. Means we need to get out of Dodge, Chrysler, Dodge. Where Dodges were being made, like, get out of Detroit is what it meant.
Ah, okay.
So when they say we got to get out of Dodge, that means we got to get out of Detroit, is what they meant. Yeah.
Okay. Oh, well, in this case, everywhere's Detroit now.
Yeah, we got to get out of Dodge.
We got to get out of Dodgers. Yeah, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. But, I mean, you're one of the few people left who are, like, shedding some light on this topic. So, I mean, I'm grateful for the whistleblowers, they call them, or whatever.
It's not even whistleblowing. We're just showing what's happening in the news, and we're kind of connecting the dots. That's all we're doing here. It's not like, you know, we're breaking any news. It's just, hey, this is what's happening. You get a free donut if you get a vaccine, a free donut a day for the next year.
Yeah, so see what kills you first, the diabetes or the vaccine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like, people are getting vaccinated now, and you hear the horror stories now. People losing mobility in certain parts of their body, like they're having certain epileptic, like, seizures and, like, all types of things, man. Like, you know what I mean? And they're trying to. Did you hear about the passports? They're trying to make passports now.
Yeah, we covered that on Mike of the Night 3 weeks ago. The COVID passports, and they're gonna limit movements, and then if people don't get vaxxed, they can't get on a cruise ship. There's all kinds of stuff happening right now. And it's very scary. It's very, very scary. I built a home in the Philippines, and I want to go see it. Mm-hmm. And for $6,000.
Yeah, you see, I was thinking about Philippines too. The Philippines is a beautiful place, and it doesn't cost anything. You know what I mean?
Yep. Find a small island, and stay in a hotel there for a bit, and then maybe acquire about buying a little piece of land, or I don't know. It won't cost you much. Like 10,000 American is a lot of. I think it's like 45,000 or 450,000. Yeah, 450,000 of that's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. I mean, for them, it's a lot. I mean, for us, it's nothing, right? It's just, but it's about getting there. That's the thing now with the whole COVID, like the restrictions, the quarantine hotels and all that stuff. I mean, it can get even worse than that, you know? I mean, now you just have to do 14-day quarantine and then you're free to go, but who knows what's going to happen after. But yeah, man, so I don't know. It's I think this is something everybody should be looking into, like, very heavily. I mean, if you're not already married with kids who are in school and, you know, you got a lot of ties to your country and you can make the move and the adjustment to kind of relocate, I think you should, you know. Mm-hmm. Definitely consider it if you're especially my age, like in your mid-20s, early 30s. I think it's a good time. Like, you don't even, I'm not even planning to go forever. Like, I'm not gonna go and just, like, you know, get buried there. But I want to go for an extended period of time just to kind of see how things settle down here after some time, you know. And if it gets worse, then, like I always say, you know, if things are gonna go downhill for the world, then I'd rather it go downhill while I'm on a beach somewhere, you know, enjoying my time.
Like I said, you want to die nice and warm, or you want to die cold and alone.
Right, exactly. I know that's exactly how I'm thinking right now. So I'm saying, and you know, hey man, like it's very affordable, I mean, if something was to happen, you were to lose income, but you have like a large saving in your account, that can hold you off for many, many years in a place like that. But if something like, God forbid, inflation happens here and your dollar's worth half of what it was, then you're screwed.
Yeah, you're toast. You're toast.
That's it.
Do you buy gold and silver while you're there? Do you invest in U.S. currency instead? Because it's a better hedge against, Canadian dollar isn't that strong. Yeah.
Yeah, like honestly, I think even the best thing to do is just, like you said, buy a plot of land and start growing your own crops, man. Like live organically off the land. It's cheap, doesn't cost you much. And if worse comes to worse, then you're the local market dealer, right? I mean, like for food, for everything, you don't have to worry about where you're gonna get your next meal from. If you have to go vegetarian, go vegetarian.
Fishing, you go fishing. Go fishing.
Fishing, exactly. Grab a couple chickens, let them run free, make some eggs. You got food. You got to buy a cow, you got milk. I mean, it doesn't.
And
cost
you know
much
what?
there.
See how we're talking? Look at this. 21st century, okay? 2021, and look how we're talking. We got to go back to the plow.
That's it. The basics, man. We've made it so overcomplicated now that people are getting so reliant on technology, on like all different, types of vices to enjoy their life, like, and then you still have Amish communities who don't even use electricity still, and those are the ones that are going to survive. Like, if something like this was to happen and like there's like a global, let's say, like an electrical shortage, or the power goes out, the internet stops working, like who do you think are going to be the people who survive? It's going to be the old timers, the people who who didn't rely on it to begin with. So I mean, I've been watching YouTube videos on like camping, like how to like just basic survival techniques, how to filter water, just because you never know, right? It's good to know these things. You never know when you might need them. But
The skills, you got to give them to your kids, grandkids. You need to pass on this to the next generation, because without it, computers and tablets could only get you so far.
That's right. Yeah, kids are being born these days, and like their eyes are glued to a TV screen or to a monitor or to a Nintendo or whatever it is, right? And yeah, man, I don't know. I think it's like one big global conspiracy, like brainwashing system trying to lead everybody into like the new world order, like they always talk about, the global reset, the great things to come. I put that in quotes because obviously
I call it the skyscraper dark ages.
Right, yeah.
We got the skyscrapers, but we're going back into a dark age.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we already got so many properties that are vacant, and we got people who live in the country who are native to the country who are homeless because you have foreign investors buying up properties that are empty.
Yeah.
Like the government just simply doesn't care about its own people, right? Like They dug themselves such a deep hole where they owe so much money that they themselves can't fix it, so they have to take it from us.
That's right.
You know what I mean?
It's sad when someone born and raised and has a degree is homeless. It's sad that someone born and raised has a degree and works 2 jobs is living in a tent.
Right, yeah. And they don't do anything about it, they offer maybe like $600 stimulus check. That's like 2 loaves of bread and maybe like a pack of meat or something, and that's it.
That's a
like,
pack of cigarettes in Australia.
$600, really?
No. $50 a pack in Australia, but
that's ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
Like now they're charging you even more to kill yourself faster. Like, come on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's not enough. They already want you dead through other means. Like, they want to overcharge you to, for a pack of smokes now. Like, like, I mean, anybody with half a brain can figure out that we're definitely not heading in the right direction, right? Like, God forbid, 10, 15 years from now, you have Chinese military all over the countries, around the world.
That would not be far-fetched at all. Not even one bit.
And you see them just on every street corner, like monitoring everywhere. Like, you can't leave without them questioning you where you're going and all this. Everybody has like, chips inserted into them so that they can track you, and like surveillance systems all over the street so that they can do this new social credit score. Honestly, just give me a little cottage or something like in the boonies somewhere in Southeast Asia, like, in the Amazon rainforest, away from everyone, and I'll be good. You know what I mean? Like, it's better than just dying to the system slowly.
Yeah.
I'd rather die free if I'm gonna die, right?
Right.
It's just, yeah, Mike. I don't know, man. It's really dark times we're in. Really, really dark times, and it's no help that Trump lost either. Like,
look what's happening at the U.S.-Mexican border.
Of course, because Biden's not even the one in charge, and whoever is doesn't know what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's ridiculous. Now they're sending them to us. They're sending them to Canada now. Like, what do you think is going to happen if, let's say, for example, this is all like one big setup, and the Chinese already work with the Biden administration for these migrants, and the reason they have empty houses is so that they can fill them with these migrants?
Who knows? Now you're scaring me now.
No, because like if you look at it in retrospect, like, why do you have all these pieces of the puzzle, and individually it doesn't make sense, but when you combine them all together, you're like, oh, wait a minute, there might be some correlation here. Like I feel like this is a big
Okay, I could see them giving migrants hotels. I could see that, but not giving them free homes. It won't work. It won't work.
Well, I mean, not give them the free home, but give them like
a place to stay.
extended
Yeah,
stay.
shelter.
Yeah, and I mean, who knows who these foreign investors are from these countries, right? They could be operatives who are working with the government disguised as foreign purchasers in order to drive locals out of the land and then fill it up with migrants so that they can achieve like their end purpose or their end goal, which we don't know what it is. Or I could just be completely wrong and there's something else. But who knows? Like these days, nothing surprises me anymore. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
no,
they're saying even Biden's not the real president. He's not even in the White House.
Yeah, there's all kinds of stuff that's going on, and there's all kinds of rumors circulating that he barely got 9 million votes. There's other rumors circulating that, like, there's so much going on. There's one guy, they're threatening to put him in jail. He took a bunch of shredded voting, what do you call it? Voting
ballots.
Ballots. Took them home and is taping them together, and they want to sue him and charge him and put him in jail for putting ballots back together that were shredded. And I don't know. Yeah.
No, I was just gonna say they even caught that one postal worker is caught red-handed throwing mail in the garbage, like ballots and stuff, throwing them at the side of the curb.
Yeah.
Like there's video evidence, and they wouldn't even look at it in Supreme Court. Like, I just feel like whatever's going on is they're desperate and they don't care if they're exposed as long as they, because I mean, realistically at this point, so many people are dependent on this system that, because they took away everybody's ability to fend for themselves by offering them all these vices, that people are so dependent on it now that without it, they can't really live their lives, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they know this, so they know that they can just play around with us, and we're not really going to be able to do anything. So but we're going to have to do something at one point, because if we keep this up, then what's going to happen to our children, our future generations, right?
Yeah, and now I think you're completely avoiding America now, because it's going to turn into Amerifornia.
Oh yeah, no, I've been avoiding America since before this whole pandemic thing to begin with.
Mm-hmm.
I've always heard about, I've been to America a few times, but no way, man, it wasn't for me. Even 5-6 years ago, I was thinking about moving to Florida,
mm-hmm.
but I ultimately decided not to, just because America's been building its own grave for many years now, and it's just taking up until this point for it to reach this amount, because since the whole pandemic, it just really shut things down. But I mean, being stuck in America with if they were to ever come up with a draconian system, then it's not going to be one of the places you want to go. Good thing I didn't too, because now with all the migrant crisis, MS-13, all these things happening, man, yeah, I don't know, Mike. It's a really, really crazy time now, and I might be the first in my family to not own my own house by this age. But you know what? I'd rather have a castle on an island far away than to have a little shitty shack for $500,000 here.
$500,000? You're being generous.
Yeah, gotta give.
You're being. Are we talking about a closet for $500,000?
A walk-in closet. Yeah,
walk-in closet. Okay, walk-in closet. All right. Yeah. Well, thanks for calling in and giving us your time and giving us an update. And don't be shy. If you want to call us on Mike in the Night, you're more than welcome to call in, because Mike in the Night, we get very conspiratorial and try and figuring out what's going on.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you. God bless. Bye.
You as well. Bye.
All right. So a new first-time caller. There we go. So hopefully he can come on a Mike in the Night. All right, who else we got here? We got lots of chats going on here. So we got Jericho. I wanted to get Stephanie on the show from Florida, and she was going to give us an update on what is happening in her immediate area. She says bidding wars are off the hook there in Florida. So I'm just looking at the comments here. That was really good first-time caller there. That's good. We need to get at least one first-time caller at least one time on every show. Mike in the Night this Saturday, guys. Let me plug this Saturday show. It's 1:40. I've been on 1:49. I'm going to be wrapping up the show soon. Oh, okay. Hold on. Stop the press. Here's another one here if you're out of Canada. Why investors are back in Toronto and Vancouver's housing markets. Why? People are looking for a place to live during COVID where the primary buyers during... Oh, Stephanie's on the phone. Yo, Steph, what's up?
Hi, Mike. What's up?
Yeah, I've been trying to reach you. You're a lot tougher to get than the president.
Yeah, it's crazy times, I tell you. I just finished my midterms a few weeks ago, and they're not allowing us to have our spring break till almost the end of the semester, so that nobody has to return back to campus and supposedly get COVID.
Kovishta. Okay, let me ask you, what's going on with the bidding wars down there? You said in your immediate area, pricing is going through the roof. Foreign investors are buying up property.
Yes. My former roommate, who's also does mortgage lending and does the paperwork for people buying houses and all that, she said probably about 85 to 90% of the paperwork that she's been doing over the last 6 months have all been from Chinese investors.
Wow. And that's how it started in Canada in 2010. It started like that.
Well, I can feel it, and I'm not liking it at all because the housing is super limited here. Right now, it was going for about $135 a square foot maybe 2 or 3 years ago. Now it's up to about $165, $170 a square foot for a decent place. Mm-hmm. She tried to rent this one house. I even went with her to look at it, and she loved it, and there was just this weird real estate lady there, and she told her, oh, here's the card, you can touch with her, this is the owner, this and that. So she went in and she was going to apply, but the lady wanted first and last and wanted almost like 6 months worth of rent up front. And I kept telling my former roommate, I said, that's a huge red flag. She said, you know it. And she said the place was nice, but it needed a lot of renovating still. And I said, I know it did. And so she told the lady this, and she says, oh, well, I got plenty of other people lined up, so if you don't take it. But the lady wanted to hold almost $6,000-$7,000 in deposits and all that from her.
Well, that's how they keep the locals out of the market.
Basically, yeah. But then she acted like no big deal. There's plenty of people lined up down the street. And I'm sure there is, because all the people from the Northeast since COVID and the lockdown have moved to wide open Florida. And I'm telling you, it is just the traffic. I can feel there's so much. I feel like I'm almost back in LA again. I know that sounds crazy, but getting around used to take me like 30-40 minutes to get from point A to point B to, and now it takes me about an hour and a half. And I'm like, this is just stupid. And even if you take a toll, you might save 30 minutes, but it's just, I don't know. I'm counting my days. I have one more year of college, and I'm going to have to figure out what I'm going to do. But I'm not feeling it here, Mike. I'm not. I can see like because I've been listening to you for a long time, and I'm having a fear that this is going to happen. But you see, they've embedded FOMO in everybody.
Yes, fear of missing out.
And exactly. And so because of this, they're even talking about it on the news. Well, if you haven't bought a house, you might be having to wait, and the inventory is down to barely maybe not less than a month right now worth of inventory. Okay, right before the lockdown and all that, about a year ago, February, March of last year, it was probably maybe about 2 months worth. And now, I mean, that's how much. And the problem is, though, a lot of these houses that, you know, for starter families that could buy it, even though they need some fixing up, they could gradually fix it up. But you see, they're not even allowing people to do that because people are coming here with suitcases of cash and saying, I want that house, here's cash, give me the title.
That's what happened here in Vancouver since 2010, where people will come in with suitcases of cash. Now that your country is under a new administration, they're going to turn a blind eye to money laundering, and it's going to be crazy in the States. You guys will become like us within 5 years, where you're going to see houses going 170 to like $500,000 over asking.
Yeah, Miami's pretty bad too. I don't know if you saw or heard about, there's this trailer park that a bunch of people, you know, were staying in down towards Miami. And I guess the city of Miami, another foreign investor came along, offered the city enough, but because of the lockdowns, the loss of tax revenues, tourists and all that, they're trying to recoup their losses. And so what do? But give everybody less than 30 days to be moved out and to vacate the trailer park, because obviously people own their trailers, but they don't own the land, or, you know, because it belongs to the city. So now people are displaced. A lot of them still don't have jobs. They don't know what they're going to do or where they're going to go, because the price of land around here is beginning to be a very huge premium. Like the other day, I barely saw this, was about an acre and a half, and they wanted almost $100,000 for that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just getting out of control. I'm seeing what used to be like what cow pastures were, they're now doing development. And I'm like, oh Lord, no more cows, that's it. You know, I mean, I get it, but it's just like, it's happening too fast, and the market here is so aggressive, Mike. It's like you were saying, there's competitions for rentals. Like my rental, you have to give a 2-month notice for apartments or rentals, but if you want to move out. Like my lease is ending in May. I've been here a year and a half. My school's ending. I want to go away for the summer. And so, well, I'm not going to stay here. I don't like my new neighbors I'm getting anyway. But they already rented my apartment out in less than, say, a week after I gave them my notice. So I don't know. It's just crazy. I've never seen anything like this before, and I'm seeing a lot of people investing like in the older part of town, like in going toward downtown Orlando. A lot of people have tore down old houses and building like $500,000 houses and stuff like that. I mean, that's what's going on right now.
And that happened in Vancouver in 2010, where they tear down old homes and build these homes. Now those homes are going for $3-4 million in Vancouver.
Yeah. And then with the price of lumber going up, obviously gas going up, adding to the cost of everything right now. It's just, I don't know what to say. It's just, I hate to see what's going to happen in another year or two, but I'm dead serious. A lot of people are just moved from the north here, you know, and the problem is they didn't really have a game plan. They didn't have anything. And so now, because so many people have moved here and they're in hotels or short-term rentals or Airbnbs or whatever, the occupancy rates have gone way up again, obviously because so many people moving down here, and you know, our governor advertising we're wide open compared to some other states. But the problem is, you know, you've got a lot of those workers that were displaced from their jobs that don't pay that well, and you got, even since I've been here, now my 1-bedroom, 700 square feet that I was paying $1,100 for since February of last year, they are now charging $1,350. And 1 year in rent, that's how much it's gone up, because the houses around me have gone up in value, and I'm at premium location because I'm near the campus and all that, you know. So now that they're saying the campus is going to be back to close to 100%, 75% by the fall and 100% by the spring of next year, it'll be back to normal. But it is a lot of people moving here. I mean, I pass U-Hauls and budget lots, and they've got overflow lots right now. So I tell you, Mike, I don't know. This is just the craziest thing I've ever seen. It's like, where's the correction?
My whole channel was built off of this.
Mm-hmm.
What was happening in Australia, New Zealand, Canada. Now, Amerifornia, your previous administration, the Trump administration, tried to keep a lid, not try to keep a lid, but try to stop this from happening, right?
Yeah.
Now it's over. You guys are wide open now, and it's going to be really interesting. Did you see that article I read the other day where people cannot even leave England anymore? They can't even vacation anymore from England. They can't leave England.
Yeah.
They'll get fined £5,000 for leaving.
Yeah. Yeah, and Spain too. I heard Spain, you have to have one of those, those special types of passports now. And then air travel is picked up, but they're saying that it's picked up because more people got one of those things in their arms, and they're walking around with their little phones saying, they got one, and here's my little passport. And I'm just like, oh my God. I mean, it's bad enough we have TSA since, the 9/11 crap, but here we go again with something else. And it's just like, if I have to get one just to travel in a plane, well, I guess I'll never take a plane again.
Yeah.
That's all I got to say, because they use military people as guinea pigs to start with. And when I was in the Marine Corps, they gave me so many shots. It messed up a lot of my cosmetics in my body, being a female. And I just, no, I refuse. I mean, because the thing is, they take care of one virus, and then it's like, what about all the others?
Yeah, no, it's not going to fly. All right, Stephanie, I'm rolling into my second hour.
Yeah, but the market here, Mike, I'm telling you, maybe for Canadians it's reasonable here, but I'm going to have to go to a little small town or something like that, somewhere where it's away from the city,
Go to Ocala.
Yeah, Ocala's pretty nice. They've got a lot of farmland there still.
Yeah,
so
go to Ocala.
Ocala's good. Cocoa's still not too bad. It's still not, but I'm sure over time it will be. But we'll see. I mean, it's all good either way. But I thought I'd let you know, it's happening here now. It is. It truly is.
Okay.
So I don't know. I guess everybody, considering where they came from, it's a bargain here. But you've got too many people with too much money, and they're buying it and putting it all into real estate because they know the dollar's kind of going down.
Yep.
Yep. But I appreciate everything, and I keep my ear posted to you, Mike. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Stephanie, thanks so much. Try and call us on Mike in the Night if you have any updates, okay?
Will do. All right.
God bless.
Bye now.
Bye. That is Stephanie down in Florida. Managed to get her on the show. Thank you so much. Okay, so here it is, guys. I'm going to give you guys an update for next week. For this Mike in the Night, guys, if you could join us on Mike in the Night this Saturday, it's going to be a show and a half. So here it is, guys. Let me go to... Here it is, guys. Don't forget to subscribe and be part of the channel. And, guys, here it is. Mike in the Night, the real reality. Don't forget to set your reminders for next week's show and find out what's really going on out there. Hopefully the Raven isn't working and he has an important message he needs to tell us. Don't forget to buy something on Teespring. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook if you want. And, guys, I'm going to give you guys my Instagram. If you guys want to send me show tips, send them here. People have been sending me stuff on Facebook, but the links get removed by Facebook because it goes against their standards. Art by Dano, not your typical art. Artbydano.com, not your typical art. Check them out, artbydano.com. I'm going to leave you guys a link here in the live comments. Check them out. And Peter Leeds, I want to thank him very much and plugging him again, because we're going to do a Mic of the Night with Peter Leeds and his new book, Upthinking. Here it is, by Peter Leeds, and it's we got a few of them we want to give away here on the show on a upcoming Mic of the Night. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I look forward to reading what you guys have to say. And I'm just trying to think if I could add something to this. But it's Commonwealth for common people, Commonwealth for common folks.
You're talking about all men.
Commonwealth for common people, going against the wolves of hell. We're Commonwealth for common people, through community, Mike Martins, you and me, throw our enemies, through knowledge, common rebel, common people, Commonwealth for common people, Commonwealth for common people, Commonwealth for common people. Darkened mountains rose in a distance when we were expecting white and pearly gates. With Mike, we tell our stories, share our trades.
You're talking about all men.
All the things that we all make. Through his show we crescendo symphonies instead of war and wave. Common people, Commonwealth.
Thank you for watching, everybody. Stay safe, and if you can't,